Hey there, welcome back to the vlog. Now there's a new web browser on the market, so I thought I'd have a quick look at it with you guys and see what it can do and what it can't do, and see if it works with some of my favourite tools in YouTube and TubeBuddy and that sort of thing. Let's have a look. Okay, so there's this new software called Brave, and they're advertising like everybody else always does when you get a brand new browser is, hey, we're the biggest, fastest thing out there and going to render everything quickly. There's a lot of things that can get in the way of that, however, so don't have enormous expectations from this thing and expect everything to be wonderful. Also, it's version 0.22, it's going to have some bugs in it, got to expect that. Not going to flame it for any of that. So I haven't actually installed this thing yet. I thought I'd wait and do that on camera here, so let's have a look at that. Right, I have got my installer just here, so I'll double click that, and just opens up, as you can see, with a normal everyday installer. That's all good. Just going to quickly click through all the basics of here, type in my password, and there you go, the files are installing, so that's all good. And nice and quick install. Okay, and here we go. Here's the new browser. Do I want to make it my default? No, I'm not going to make that my default browser at the moment. That probably wouldn't be a particularly bright thing to do. So I'll go not now, and well, basically here it is. Let's have a look. So we'll go youtube.com. There we go. Okay, the first thing I noticed there was the autocomplete. It came up with the youtube.com just after I typed YO, so it's obviously using some of the system settings from Safari or Chrome or something like that, and borrowing some of that sort of stuff to help speed itself up. There you go, straight up the top there. I like that when I see myself in the results, and I'll just hit the stop there straight away. That did load relatively quickly, so that's pretty good. I'm going to sign in now. Let's have a look here. So it's just got the usual Google sign-on page. So I'll type my stuff in here, and I'll let that chug away. Okay, that's relatively quick. And select one of those, and okay. Like Safari and Chrome, it's asking if it wants to save the password. I'll let it do that for now. Now it's got a shields panel at the top. Now this is interesting. Okay, it seems to be here straight away, blocking 2 ads and 2 trackers. Interesting that it's doing that straight away. I personally don't think that blocking these tracking cookies and things is really that important. To be completely honest, if somebody really wants to know what sort of stuff I'm looking at online, they're more than welcome. It's just not really that interesting. And what a lot of people forget is that by tracking the things you're looking at, the advertising companies want to just deliver ads that are relevant to you. But anyway, let's get back to this browser. Okay, so straight away it seems pretty good at a first glance. I'm going to have a quick look now at TubeBuddy and see if that will install on here, and the particular thing I want to look at is to see whether it will run the custom thumbnail creator, because that's something I would love to see TubeBuddy put into Safari. Hint, 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 TubeBuddy. Now that's an interesting thing I just noticed, is that the search bar is in the title bar, and if you mouse off it, it just gives you the page title up the top here, and not actually the search bar. So I was about to go and just do a search in YouTube for TubeBuddy, and then I just realized that I was in the wrong place here. So yeah, that's interesting. Now this is coming up, and it seems to have identified this browser as Chrome. So it's coming up with the Chrome Web Store. Let me have a look here. Where is it telling me I can actually install this thing or not here? Okay, I'm thinking I can't actually install TubeBuddy on this browser. Okay, so it doesn't look like TubeBuddy will run on here, which is a bit of a disappointment. Anyway, I'm going to have a bit more of a play around and see if I can come back with some cool features that it can do for you. Okay, so I've spent a couple of days now looking at this Brave browser, and I have to say it's not impressing me all that much. It's completely lacking in functionality. Its prime bragging points are it's stopping all of the ads appearing and playing on websites where you've agreed to terms and conditions to show ads which actually fund those websites and keep those companies and keep creators and all that sort of thing running. These ads are what stop you from having to pay for website access all the time. This is what funds the internet, the advertising revenue, and by blocking all of that, you're killing the revenue stream for the people that are providing the stuff for you. There's no such thing as free, someone's always paying, and the advertisers are willing to do that, so why would you want to block the advertising? Okay, so from the website, and I'm just going to paraphrase here, they say that they're a safer, faster browser. They say they're blocking ads and blocking tracking cookies. And then they go on to say that they're going to start supporting creators through a new attention-based, and they're going to do this while growing support for content creators through some attention-based ecosystem of rewards. Yeah, I mean, I've got no idea what that could possibly mean. If they're going to sort of take away the advertising and then fund creators themselves, but if there's no advertising or they're not selling information that they're gathering in some way, how are they going to support and fund creators? That income has to come from somewhere to pass to creators. That's why we have advertising. Reading further through this, from what I can gather, and it's very, very vague on the website, so I might have the wrong thing, but from what I can gather, the whole idea behind this is that they remove all this tracking information that people collect about browsing behaviors and combined interests. They're going to remove advertising from sites that are delivering advertising, so it's going to kill the ability of a lot of websites that rely on advertising revenue to survive, like YouTube, Google, most of the major news outlets and things like that. And they're saying that content creators will be paid and funded on a micropayment system where people browsing websites and looking at created content will be able to donate small amounts of cryptocurrencies. I'm just not interested in an internet like that. There's nothing wrong with the advertising model we have now. The whole concept of being paid to create with cryptocurrencies, which are a completely artificial fear-based construct with absolutely no backing or basis behind their value, that personally scares the absolute crap out of me, and it's not something that I would like to be involved with. Their entire basis on this sort of thing seems to be this. The slogan you see through the Brave website is, people don't want to be tracked. And in some cases that may be true, and you can have the option to turn all tracking off in any web browser you've got now. I would go out on a limb here and say that for the majority of people, though, we don't give a crap whether we're tracked or not, because I think a lot of people realise that the tracking actually has as much benefit as it does cost. I think the whole negativity about tracking cookies and monitoring people's behaviour and building patterns of information, which are very generic anyway on the internet, and all this negativity around it, I think is just a big social paranoia. To be completely honest, there are far more benefits available from doing that tracking by actually making things relevant to the viewer, etc., than there is at any potential cost. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to argue with me on that point, but it's something I'm interested in finding out more of the science around. Actual science. Anyway, so I'm going to say no to the Brave browser. I think they're living in some sort of crypto-utopian idealistic world that just doesn't really make sense to your average sane human being, I'm afraid. And with that, I'm just going to leave that alone before I open myself up to, as an alternative to getting paid with AdSense or YouTube or Twitch or any other online streaming thing which comes through advertising and companies wanting to promote products and services and sales to people. I don't think that this is going to take off. I don't think it's a safe thing to have, and I don't think it's anything that's sustainable. If you find this interesting and interested in having a constructive discussion about this sort of thing, definitely put comments below. More than happy to reply and sort of build some intelligent argument. There are points I might learn something about as well, and differences of opinion are always a great way to grow. So don't forget to subscribe, hit that notify bell, do all of that good stuff, leave comments, click the like, and and I'll see you tomorrow.